Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kamaya, and if you're interested in seeing how I did these Jada Wada inspired goddess knotless box braids, then keep on watching. I'm starting this process off with my Shake and Go Free Tress 301 braid in here in the color number 4. I used a total of 1.5 packs. These are some of the benefits that are listed on the back of this braid in here if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I love this braid in here. It's definitely one of my favorites. Next, I'm using this Shake and Go Deep Bulk Q Milky Way hair in the color number 4 and in the length 16 inches. This hair is a human hair master mix, which means it's not 100% human hair, but it does hold up a bit better than synthetic hair would. So this is an alternative to synthetic hair if you are looking for this style to last you a bit longer. I'm starting this process off with my Edge Booster Edge Control, and I use the dark one because it tends to flake up less than the clear one. And I'm just applying this to all 4 corners of my part, and then after that, I smooth it down with my fingers. I didn't really care much about the other parts in my head, but for the middle part, I at least tried to make that look a little bit cleaner and a little straighter, so I went back over that with the tail of my fine-tooth comb. I'm using this Curls Blueberry and Mint Scalp Treatment, and this is just an additional step to ensure that the edge control doesn't flake and also to just oil my scalp as a whole. For my braid, like I said, I just smooth it out with my finger. For my braid, I split my natural hair into 3 sections and then I start to plait until I just don't feel like plaiting it anymore. To give yourself a bit of structure, I would say plait for a body count of 3 or 4 and then start to feed in the braid in here. My hair is very thick and I wanted my braids to be as skinny as possible, so I tried to feed in as less hair as I can. To feed in the hair, this is what I did. I get the braid in here and I rest it on the middle section of my natural hair, like so. So I rest one side of the braid in here on the middle section, and then I just bring the other one over up under the first section and I just plait the hair and feed it in. It sounds simple, but basically while you're trying to feed it in, you're going to use your index finger to kind of push the hair up underneath your natural hair. I'm going to model again what I did to feed in my hair. So I pick up a small section of braided hair and I have the braided hair folded over into like 2 halves. I rest one of the halves on top of the middle section of my natural hair like this, and then the other half I just tuck it underneath the first section of my natural hair, which is the one closest to my face. Next, I use my index finger and thumb to kind of push the braided hair into my natural hair, and I plait it as if it was my natural hair. And that's basically the steps I take all throughout the duration of the style to feed in each individual piece of my braided hair. Jada's braids were really skinny, but her parts were big, and also I was a bit lazy, so I decided to go with really big parts and feed in tiny sections of hair in order to maintain a slender looking braid, and that way it would be as close to her braids as possible. To feed in the curly hair now, this is what you do. You break off a small piece of the curly hair, and the hair might frizz out a little bit, but with a little bit of mousse, it'll be fine. Feeding in the curly hair basically follows the same technique as you would feeding in the regular braided hair. So you're going to have 3 sections of the braid that you already braided. Then within those 3 sections, you're going to get the curly hair, which is folded in half, and rest one strand of the curly hair on the middle section of the braid that you have already and the other side. And the other one you tuck underneath the section of the braid that you had already that's closest to your face. and you'll use your index finger and thumb to kind of push the curly hair up underneath that braid and just braid it as normally. And just braid it as you normally would. Instead of continuing to braid this curly hair all the way down into the braid, you're going to want to find it within your braid, and it's going to be really easy. It's going to be the only silky piece of curly hair. And you just kind of want to, just want to take one side of the curly hair up, like one strand, and just raise it up towards your head. You could clip it down, or if yours is staying like mine, you could just leave it up there and braid the rest of your hair down, so that could just be a cute little flyaway bohemian piece. For the curly hair, you determine how much or how little you want to put in it. I didn't want mine to be super extra. I decided to go with 2 to 3 strands on each braid, and then at the end I'll add in a piece of curly hair. I'm about to show you guys how I added the curly hair to the end of my braid. Basically, it's the same technique. When I get all the way down to the bottom, I'm basically going to braid out the braiding hair as far as I can, and when it gets really thin down there, I'll feed in the curly hair and basically braid out the braiding hair until it ends. And what should happen is you should have a tip of the curly end. If you do not have that, what you can do is feed in another piece of curly hair along the way at some point while you're doing the braid to ensure that your ends are super wavy and is as long as you would like it to be. Lastly, I'd like to add that I didn't dip my hair in hot water. I just added a bit of lots of body mousse to the end of each braid, and that held my braids well for the most part for me. And I also add the mousse all throughout the rest of my hair as I did it as well. So that's pretty much how I did the style. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask any question down below in the comment section. And hopefully this was helpful for you. I'll see you guys in the outro. This is the finished product. I'm gonna dress back so y'all can see it better. This is the back view, the side view. I love that this hair could bounce back to its natural texture with just a little mousse. Hopefully that is consistent for the entire duration of this style, because you know how these hairs be. It's super long, really long. I really love how it looks. If you love how it looks, comment down below to let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to like and comment down below if you found this tutorial to be helpful. Bye guys.